Hello friends and family, Mark Johnson coming to you again from Oklahoma City. Today's installment, a special surprise video with Mama Helen Johnson. We've been seeing a lot about Brother David, and so we only thought it appropriate that we give Mom her own due. So this video is for her. So all the Stone family, sure hope you guys are dialed in and watching on this video so we get to hear from Mom. So let's bring her in and say hello. How you doing?
Hey, welcome.
Welcome indeed. Thanks for being here today. So this is your opportunity to, Dad's not around, so you can say whatever you want. He doesn't have to watch this video on the internet or anything like that. But you've been such an important part of his ministry from the very beginning, really. So we just wanted you to have an opportunity to talk to us about that and tell us about different things. You played piano for your dad, Grandpa Stone, really from a very young age. About how old were you when you started playing for him?
I was 12 years old when I began to play for his services. Not all the time, but eventually I became his full-time pianist.
Wow, and that was before the highway was built. No, wait, I'm looking at the wrong thing here. You used to get out of school, right, to go play the funerals for the churches that he pastored?
Yes, mainly that was in Bristow. We lived in two areas, Shamrock and Bristow, and I went to school in Shamrock through the 7th grade and then started school in Bristow in the 8th grade.
And you graduated from high school there in Bristow?
Yes. Yeah.
So the churches that Grandpa Stone pastored, the churches that he pastored there in the Bristow area, you played for him in those services?
Yes.
Did you guys travel at all, or was that mostly local to Bristow at that time?
Oh, well, we went to fellowship meetings and youth meetings, but we were just attendees. They usually had special music and speakers at those occasions.
But, sorry?
We just did that for inspiration and spiritual health.
But then you did play one revival in Sepulpa, and the evangelist there kind of caught your eye. Yeah, want to tell us about that?
Well, I was the singer. Actually, someone else played the piano, but I have grown up singing because my father sang, and I think only one of the brothers of the 9 siblings, only one of them did not sing. All the rest played an instrument or sang prolifically, so as well as Dad.
Well, that's definitely a wonderful legacy of singing, you know, in the family. I know I count that all the time and think on both sides of the family we've got that singing, playing legacy.
Yes, we do.
And that's really cool to be able to talk about. So, jumping ahead, you married this young evangelist, and after your wedding, you took an epic car trip. It was different than anything you'd ever been on, but it appeared to be pretty routine for the Johnson family. Tell us about that. Where did you go?
Well, we left Ada, Oklahoma. After we were married, we left on the 20th of December and went down through the central heart of Texas on old Highway 75. And I remember particularly stopping in Ennis, Texas for lunch, and then we went all the way to Wharton, Texas, which was a long way back then because we didn't have interstates. So welcoming party was there at 9 o'clock at night from the church people. And a curious thing, they had a mop to represent David. They had, no, the mop represented me because of the hair, and David had a cookie jar.
The Howdy Doody cookie jar. Yeah, which still is in the family.
Yes.
It sits on top of your fridge in your house today, right? So that's still there. That's great. And so that began what I know as a family tradition of traveling. I mean, when I was a youth and all through my life, car trips were the norm. As we're moving, how many moves did you say you counted up altogether?
Well, I think 29
Oh my gosh.
was what I could remember, and it was challenging to me at first because I had grown up in the Shamrock area and the Bristow area. Although I had lived in different houses, I didn't change cultures or friends or anything like that. So when we moved about the fourth time or fifth time in Texas, we moved to Minnesota, and that was kind of devastating. So the Lord just spoke to me the old gospel song, "Anywhere is Home."
And I remember you quoting the scripture often, St. Paul saying, I have learned with whatever state I am, therewith to be content. Whether it's Texas or Minnesota or
Yes.
Mississippi or North Carolina, and now I'm finally back in Oklahoma again after all these years.
And it was truly peaceful. I mean, I loved all those places where we lived. I couldn't say goodbye easily, but
It's
I
always a hard
loved all
thing to
the
do.
places.
Well, you also did something that was unusual back in the day. You were one of the first female students admitted to OBU. Am I remembering that correctly? Or
I don't know, but I did attend to OBU.
what year would that have been?
Probably 1949.
Okay. And then after that, you met and married David, and you guys lived in different places. And then I remember you going back to school when I was young. You started to San Jacinto Junior College, and then Texas Women's University after we moved to Waxahachie. Speaking of no interstate, I remember those hot trips from Waxahachie up to Denton
Yeah.
on Old Highway 75
Yeah.
before Interstate 35
Yeah.
was built. So that's how long ago that was.
Yes.
So you earned your master's degree. Where did you earn the master's degree from?
Stephenville, Texas, at
That's
Tarleton State.
Tarleton State.
And then counseling certification from Huntsville,
How many classroom years did you teach?
26.
And then you moved over to counseling after that.
No, that includes my counseling. I was counseling for 16 years.
Wow.
And
in addition
I'm
to the teaching.
still counseling. During that time, I also qualified for licensed professional counselor. So I use that today.